Have you ever heard advice that sounded so wrong that you couldn't stop thinking about it? Advice that went against everything your parents, teachers, and the world taught you? If you've ever worried about money, your future, or how you'll survive in a world where prices keep rising, then do not skip this story. Stay with me till the end, because one sentence in this story changed a boy's life forever. When Thomas was 16 years old, his grandfather looked him straight in the eyes and said something that shocked him. Never save money. Thomas thought he misheard. Never save money? What his grandfather told him next came from a life of hunger, regret, and hard-earned wisdom, and it would completely change how Thomas understood money, work, and the future. Thomas was 16 years old, standing at the edge of adulthood and already afraid of the future. He lived in a small town where people worked hard their entire lives and still struggled. His teachers talked about success. His friends talked about big dreams. But everyone agreed on one rule: save money. That's how you stay safe. Thomas believed it deeply. He skipped snacks at school and saved coins in a small metal box under his bed. Every clink of a coin made him feel responsible, smart, mature. One afternoon, while visiting his grandfather's old house, Thomas proudly brought out the box. "I'm saving for my future," he said. His grandfather looked at the box for a long moment, then gently closed it. And that's when he said it. Never save money. Thomas laughed nervously. "What do you mean? Everyone says saving is important." His grandfather nodded slowly. "I know what everyone says. I also know what hunger says." There was a silence between them, the heavy kind. As the evening sun fell across the dusty courtyard, his grandfather sat down and motioned for Thomas to sit beside him. "Let me tell you why I said that," he said. "This story cost me years of my life." Long before Thomas was born, his grandfather lived in a small village where life moved slowly, but survival was hard. People in the village had a name for him: Lazy. Every morning, while others rushed to work, he sat under a large tree near the road. He watched people pass by, watched clouds drift, watched time move forward without him. He talked about dreams. One day I'll open a shop. One day I'll own animals. One day I'll be rich. But days turned into months, months turned into years, and one day never came. At first, people laughed at him. Later, they stopped laughing. They only shook their heads. His wife carried the weight of reality. She cooked. She cleaned. She washed clothes in cold water. She never insulted him, never humiliated him. One night, while folding clothes by candlelight, she spoke softly. "Dreams are beautiful," she said, "but they don't fill empty stomachs." He nodded without answering. "Someday," he said, "someday I'll find a way." But someday kept moving farther away. Life became harder. Food became less. Money almost disappeared. One night, his small grandson stood in front of him, barefoot, thin, tired. "Grandpa," the boy whispered, "do we have bread?" They opened the cupboard. Empty. No rice, no flour, nothing. That night, his grandfather felt something break inside him. Dreams without action were no longer dreams. They were excuses. The next morning, before the sun rose, he left the house. He became a field worker. The sun burned his skin. The soil cracked his hands. The tools tore at his back. He worked long hours for very little money. Every night, he returned exhausted. The food was simple, sometimes barely enough. The boy asked, "Grandpa, what did you earn today?"
He showed a few coins. "It's small," he said, "but it's something."
Soon he realized something painful. Money came, money went. Food finished, medicine finished, bills finished, but problems stayed. The roof still leaked. The family was still worried. Saving money felt impossible. One day, at the village store, he heard a man say proudly, "The secret is saving money. When you save, you are safe." Those words stayed with him. That night, he found a glass jar and hid it under the bed. Every week, he dropped a few coins inside. Clink, clink. The sound gave him hope. "This," he told his family, "is our tomorrow." Saving wasn't easy. He wore old shoes with holes. He avoided buying clothes. Meals grew smaller. His wife asked quietly, "What's the use of money if we stay hungry?" "One day you'll understand," he replied. Months passed. The jar filled. He felt proud, prepared, safe. One day, he went to the market. He placed the jar's money on the counter. "I want 3 sacks of corn." The shopkeeper counted carefully, then shook his head. "Prices have gone up. This buys only 1.5." His heart sank. Years of saving, weakened by time. Money had lost value. That evening, he sat outside quietly. He watched neighbors pass by. One carried eggs, another carried milk. They were not rich, but they were calm, not afraid. Then a thought appeared, small but powerful. Ideas are seeds. He turned to his grandson. "What if we bought chickens?" This time, he didn't wait. He used his saved money and bought a few weak chickens. The boy laughed and ran after them. "Grandpa, we have our own egg factory." At first, there was 1 egg, then 2. They ate some, they sold some. With that money, they bought more chickens. Slowly, things changed. He kept notes in a small book. Every egg, every coin. Neighbors came to buy from him. The house felt different. Hope had returned. His grandfather looked at Thomas and held an egg in his hand. "This egg is stronger than a jar of money," he said. "Money can finish. Money can lose value. But when money creates life, it grows." Thomas stayed silent. Finally, he understood. That day, Thomas stopped believing that saving alone was enough. And today, I share this story with you. Never just save money. Learn to grow it. Even small beginnings can change everything. If this story made you think differently, like this video, share it, and subscribe for more stories that teach real lessons for real life.